Hello viewers, to get latest updates on my video, kindly like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Hello viewers, welcome to the session on mobile application development with the course code 18CSMP68. In this session, we will see the developing of simple calculator application which is prescribed as second program for 6th semester CSE or ISC students under VTU. This simple calculator application is designed using controls like buttons and edit text, which performs the basic functionality like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. The template contains the buttons for digits 0 to 9, buttons for basic operations like plus, minus, multiplication, and division, button C for clear, and button equal to for calculating the result. So, to begin with, we will open Android Studio and create a new project. Go to File, select New and New Project. Among different activities which are supported or which are given to you by an Android Studio, select empty activity and click on Next. So specify the application name, which I will be writing it as simple calculator app. You will be shown with an package name and the location where a project is going to reside by default. The language I had selected for execution for application development is Java, and minimum SDK software development kit selected is Android 4.3 Jelly Bean, which makes sure that when an application is developed with this version is going to approximately accepted by the Android devices globally 98.4%. Click on Finish. The studio takes a few minutes to load the project. Okay, now that project has been loaded. Now you can see once an Android project has been created, you can see the two files main activity.java and activity_main XML which got created. So main activity.java is going to contain a Java code where you will be building a logic for developing your application, wherein activity_main.xml is going to decide about a front end, how your project has to look like. So we will be having a template designed for our simple calculator application that will be done in an activity_main.xml. So the code or the logic which is required for executing a basic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, the code will be written in an main activity.java. So let us begin designing of a front-end template so that a simple calculator application is going to look perfect. The activity_main.xml, for which we'll be having a 3 different mode: code, split, as well as design mode. So the design mode is going to give you the different palette options like text, button, widgets, layout, container, helpers, etc., which can be added to your activity so that your application is going to look as per your requirement. Now the code is going to show the respective XML code for the components that are going to be added onto the activity. So since we had selected an empty activity, by default, you will be having a text view, which will be displaying hello world. So let me remove this text view. Let me remove this text view and make your design empty, which looks like an empty screen. So let me make the visual like, let me select design is okay. Fine. So let me select like show system UI. So this is going to show when I selected a system UI, it is going to show the way it is going to look when the application is going to be launched. So this is how empty activity as of now is going to look when you are going to launch an activity. Now onto this layout, onto this template, we need to add the buttons which contains the digits. We need to add a buttons which are going to specify the operations, a basic operations. We need to add a button to clear the screen. We need to add an edit text field to display or to accept the number. We need to add equal to button which is going to calculate the result and display the output for you. To develop all this template, let us select a button which is present in the buttons. Click on it, drag and place it onto the screen. Place it onto the screen. So before we are going to add some more buttons, let me go back to the code. Change this constraint layout to the relative layout. It becomes easy for me to design in a relative layout than in a constraint layout. So let me change this to a relative layout. So now complete activity is going to be in a relative layout where I'm going to add the components. Let me come back to the design. So a button is not going to move with respect to the horizontal or vertical. So let me drag this circle to the end, which makes the component movable towards horizontal, but not vertical. So to make this button to move vertical, let me drag this circle and bring this to the bottom. Now this button is movable towards horizontal as well as vertical, so that I can place this button wherever I want. So let me place this button here. Let me place this button here and go back to the code. Go back to the code and let me rename the text as 9. So this is a button which is going to represent a number 9. And let me change the button ID as B9. So this is the ID which I am going to define for my button which I had created. The text which is going to be appearing in the, let me go to the split mode so that you can see. So my button is going to have a name as text as 9 and which is going to have an ID defined as B9. The other parameters which got created with respect to the properties which got created with respect to the button, let it be as it is, not a problem. So similar to this button, let me add few more buttons to represent the other digits. So this is how your template is going to look after adding all the buttons. So I had added buttons and I had renamed it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 0, the way it looks in a regular calculator. And I had added buttons to represent an operations for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. And there is a button for assignment equal to, which is going to give you the result when you are going to click on the button. And I have created one more button C, which is going to clear the content when you are going to click on this button. So this is how I had added buttons onto the template or onto the screen so that it looks like a regular calculator. So now after adding all the buttons, let me add one text view, edit text view. Let me go back to the design. Go to this text under the palette, select this plain text, drag it and drop it onto the screen. So this is going to be placed at the top, which is not going to move either in horizontal or vertical way. Why? Because of relative layout. Let me make this component movable towards horizontal by dragging like this. And similarly, the component movable towards vertical. Let me drag and place like this. So now this component can be movable towards horizontal or vertical so that I can place wherever I want. Let me place like this. Let me increase this width. Okay. So I had added one text view. Let me come back to the split mode. So the code for this edit text will be present at the bottom. Okay. Let me rename this text as hint. And let me change this name to 0. So by default, when you are going to launch your application, you'll be showing with an calculator with the edit text field as 0. It's a hint. It's a hint. So 0 is the one which is going to be displayed as a hint in the edit text field. Now let me rename this ID as edit text. Edit text. And let me specify the size. Size of this text to some 25 dp. Okay. So this is what I'm going to specify. This is what I'm going to specify. So before we are going to add the functionalities to the button, or before we are going to add code in a Java program, let me cross verify how this is going to look when I'm going to launch the application. So this is how my front end is going to be designed. Let me run onto the emulator and cross verify whether this is going to look perfectly or not by clicking onto this run button. So this is going to take a few minutes to launch an emulator. Okay. So after taking a few minutes, emulator has been launched, and you can see my emulator is looking perfect as per my design. So the name of my application is Simple Calculator app. So where I have a buttons added, so which are perfectly placed, and I have one edit text field wherein I have a hint given as 0. So but the problem is when I'm going to click on the button 5 or any kind of the button, none of your number is going to replicate onto the edit text field. Why? Because the functionality to work with the buttons or to work with an edit text field has not been added in your Java file. So let me go back to the Java file and make a code or write a code so which makes your calculator work perfectly and provides you with the basic operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So let me open main activity.java and declare an object of edit text. Edit text. So IntelliSense ID is going to give me the suggestion. Let me name it as ED. Okay. So inside the function on create function, let me map the variable of edit text field ED to the XML ID of edit text which is created in XML file. So the name of ID of edit text is edit text. Name of ID for an edit text field in an XML file is edit text. Let me map that to a variable of edit text field in a Java. So this can be done by using a function find view by ID. So we are going to link or we are going to map Java variable with an XML ID with parameter ID. So to do that, we have a procedure like R, which represents a resource file. R is a default variable for resource file. R dot, based on an ID parameter, we are going to map. So R dot ID dot, the name of ID in an XML file for an edit text is edit text. It gives me a suggestion. So let me select it and semicolon. So now what I had done is I had linked or mapped a variable of Java ed, which is of a type edit text, and ID of XML file for an edit text, which is nothing but edit text, has been linked together. Now what I am going to do is I am going to create a function for displaying the numbers from the button. To do that, let me go back to the XML file. For every numbers, for every button which contains a number, I am going to add a function. So this is a button which represents number 1. Let me add one more property here. On click. There is a property called as on click. So when I'm going to click on this button, I'll call a one Java function. So the name of the function, I'll write it as number event. number event. So it is going to give me as a error. It is telling that create number event in main activity. So let me select that. So you can see in your Java file, a function called as public void number event has been created. Now the code inside this number event we should write. This number event function I had added to the button 1, which is nothing but b1. The same thing I will be adding to the all other numbers like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 0. Let me copy this and paste to the other buttons. For button 2, let me do the same thing. I'll copy the on click property where I'm going to call number event. Do the same for button 3. Same for button 4. Same for button 7. Button 0. Button 8. Button 9. Okay. Button 5. Button 6. It's done. So what I had done is for every button which represents a digit, for this I had created a property on click for which I am going to call a function number event, where this number event is a Java program or a Java function that is going to add or that is going to accept number from the keyboard. So now here in a number event function, which is going to take one parameter, which is nothing but a view. So let me create a variable of a type string, and let me write it as num equal to. So what now I'm going to do is I'm going to retrieve the value which is going to be written in the edit text field. So edit text field is represented by the variable ed. So ed dot retrieve the text. So to retrieve the text, we have a function get the text. So ed dot get the text. Whatever the text we have retrieved, convert that into a string dot to string and store it in a string variable number. And string variable number. So number will be having the value which is entered in the edit text field. Now let me switch on an ID like view dot get ID. So we are going to switch on a ID parameter. So where my ID is going to be checked for either it is a B1 or B2 or B3 or B4 or B5 and so on. If the ID is going to be B1, 1 will be appended to the number. If the ID is going to be B6, 6 will be appended to the number. If my ID is going to be 0, 0 will be appended to the number and that is going to be displayed at the end of the session. So let me do that. So case r dot id dot b0. So if at all I come to know that my ID is going to be B0, then this is an ID with respect to a button 0, in which case your number should be appended with or concatenated with a value 0. This is what I need to do. After this, let me write it as a break. So instead of writing number is equals to number plus 0, let me write it in a shorthand form, number plus equal to 0. Now this is when I am going to do if I come to know that button is 0. The same thing, let me copy, paste for all the digits. Now suppose if my ID is going to be B1, this is the number or this is the ID that is correspondent to the button 1, in which case the number has to be appended with or concatenated with the value 1. If my ID is going to be 2, this is the ID which is correspondent to the button 2, in which case a value of 2 should be appended to the number. Similarly, in case of 3, B3, number should be appended with 3. In case of B4, number should be appended with 4. In case of B5, number should be appended with 5. In case of 6, number should be appended with 6. In case of 7, number should be appended with 7. In case of B8, the number should be appended with 8. And finally, in case of 9, B9, the number should be appended with 9. So this is what I had done. After doing this, what I am going to do is I am going to display the number. So to display the number onto the edit text field, the variable is ed dot set text. So the text which I am going to set is nothing but the number which I had designed, which I had built now. So this is what I had done for a number event. Let me run the program and cross verify whether I am going to get the number which are going to be accepted by the button and it is going to be displayed onto the edit text field. So let me stop this earlier running emulator. Let me run the emulator newly, which takes a few minutes. Okay, yes. Now an emulator has been launched. Let me cross verify whether a number which is going to be clicked onto the button is going to be displayed onto the edit text field or not. Let me write a number 156, 1, yes, 5, yes, 6, I'll write 8. Okay. So you can see the numbers which are going to be clicked in a respective button is going to be accepted as a number and going to be displayed onto your edit text field. That's what we have done in a number event. That's what we have done in a number event. So we are going to read the number from the edit text field, which is represented by ed. We are going to retrieve the value and going to store in a number. And if I come to know the button which is clicked as B0, 0 is going to be appended to the number. If the button which is clicked is B1, respected to the button 1, the 1 will be appended to the number and so on. So perfectly my numbers are going to be accepted from the keypad or from the buttons which we have designed. Now let me clear it. If you see, if I click on a button C, the numbers are not going to clear. Why? Because we have not added the functionality for a button C. Let us do that now. Okay. To add functionality for a clear button, for a button C, come to the XML file and add a property onClick. OnClick. So let me specify the name of onClick function or onClick property as clear event. Clear event. So this is going to give me the suggestion like add that to a main activity. Let me click this. So you can see clear event has been added onto the screen. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the content of edit text field whenever a button C has been clicked. So to clear the contents of edit text field, I'll write the simple code ed dot get text. So what, sorry, not set text, ed dot get text. So whatever the text which is obtained from the edit text field pointed by a variable ed, let it clear dot clear. So this is how I am going to make the contents of the edit text field clear. So let me cross verify whether the button C is going to work perfectly or not by launching the emulator. So I had launched the emulator, I had typed a number onto the edit text field. So let me click on a button C. So you can see the values are going to be cleared with a default hint as 0. So the button C is working perfectly, and the numbers or the digits which are specified for each button is going to work perfectly. Now the thing is, we need to add or subtract or multiply or division, which means we need to provide a functionality for the button plus, minus, multiply, division, as well as equal to. We'll do that now. So once again, come back to the activity underscore main.xml file. Now, similar to the digits button, similar to the clear button, so the buttons where we have specified plus, minus, into, and divide, for those buttons, we are going to add an on-click property, for which I am going to write operation event. So let me go to the buttons where we have a operator, like we have an operator divide, ID is divide. So for this button, let me add on-click property. So the property name, I'll specify it as operation event, operation event. And this is not going to be added, still it is not added to the Java file. Let me add that. Create operation event in the main activity. So it has been created. Come back to the activity function or activity.xml file. Copy this property and paste it for all the buttons which are going to represent your operators. So divide is over. Addition operator. So even for addition operator, let me add this operation event. Then subtraction. For subtraction operator, let me add this operation event. Multiplication. So even for multiplication, let me add this operation event. So for basic operators like plus, minus, multiplication, and division, we have added on-click property. The property is going to invoke for a function operation event, which is going to be defined in a main activity. Now what I am going to do here is, let me define an operator, a string in a class string operator OP. Let me define this and come to this operation. So now what I'm going to do is, I am going to build a string, string called as old number. Now when an operator will be pressed after writing the first number. So let me store the first number in an variable old number before trying to read one more number. So that's what I'm going to do. So whenever an operator is going to be clicked, before that I'll be having the first number. That first number is going to be stored in a variable old number. So what now I am going to do is, old number is equal to, which will be there in the edit text field, ed.getText dot converted to the string. So the old number which is written in the edit text field, or the number which is written in the edit text field, is read and it is placed in a variable old number. After reading this number, I'll be pressing any one of the operator. Either it will be a plus operator, or it will be a minus operator, division operator, or multiplication operator. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to switch on that operator. Switch on view dot get ID. Get ID. So case r dot id dot. So the ID for an addition operator I had written as add. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to update this operator variable with plus symbol. Break. Repeat the same procedure for other operators. Let me copy paste this code. So if my ID for an operator is sub, so update the operator as minus. if my ID for an operator is due, update the operator with slash. If my ID for an operator is null, so update the operator as star. One more statement is not required. Let me delete this. So after storing the previous number in the old number, in a variable old number, after getting to know what kind of operator I had chosen. So if I had chosen addition operator, operator will be updated with plus. If I had chosen subtraction operator, operator will be updated with minus symbol. If I had chosen division operator, operator variable will be updated with division. If I had chosen multiplication operator, operator variable will be updated with star. So after doing this, let me clear the value which is present in the edit text field. So edit text field ed.getText.clear, which means your old number is going to be cleared. So before clearing your old number, I had stored it in a variable old number. Now I had a first number, I have specified with an operator. Now I am going to add a new number, or I am going to include a new number. Then the operation has to be performed when I'm going to click an assignment operator. So I had not specified the event for an assignment operator. So let me go back to the XML file. Let me go back to the XML file and find the assignment operator. Find the assignment operator. Okay, here I have ID for the assignment operator. I had specified this as assign, and I'm going to add a property on click property, where I'm going to add an event assign event. Assign event. So let me change this spelling. ASSH. Assign. Okay. So it is showing me an suggestion, so that it has to be created in the main activity. Done. Assignment operator is created. Now I need to write a code. If at all I am going to press a plus operator, addition should happen. If I'm going to press on a minus operator, subtraction should happen. Slash operator, division should happen. Star operator, multiplication should happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a string for accepting second number, or what I'll call it as a new number. So old number is present in a variable old num. Operator is present in a variable OP. Now I should read the second number, or what we call it as a new number. So similarly, ed get text dot toString. So this is going to read a second number, or the new number, and present it in a variable new number. Now let me create a variable double and result, and I'll initialize this to 0.0. Initially there is no value in the result. I'm going to declare it as a result. Why? Because in case of a division, we will be getting a floating point number. So in generalizing that, I'll be defining the result in terms of a double. So later on, I'm going to switch on operator. Switch on operator. So in case if I'm going to get to know the operator is plus, what kind of operation should I perform now? I should perform addition. Between what? Between old number and new number. But old number is present in string. New number is also present in a string. What I need to do is I need to convert that into a double, then I need to add that numbers. So how to convert? We have a double class, double dot parse double old number. Old number. there is an error which is showing here. Instead of declaring this whole number local to the operation event, let me declare in a class. I'll declare here string old number, which is initialized to nothing. So this is what I'm going to define. Instead of defining it in a function, I'll define it in a class so that it is available to the other functions also. Old number plus, similarly, double dot parse double new number. So what this parse double is going to do, parse double is going to convert the string value into the number value. What kind of number? We are going to convert it into a double. Now after adding this, we are going to store this in a result. So result is equal to, so double dot parse double old number plus double dot parse double new number, where I had added a old number as well as a new number. If I come to know, the operator I had selected is add, which is nothing but plus. So break. Now repeat this for other operators. Let me copy paste the code. So in case if I'm going to press and subtraction button, which is nothing but operator minus. If my operator is going to be minus, instead of addition, I'm going to subtract it. If my operator is going to be star, I'm going to multiply. If my operator is going to be slash, I'm going to divide it. Simple. So that's what we had done. Every value which I had calculated is present in the result. So once the result is present, let me display that result. To display that result, come out of the switch. In the edit text field, ed dot set text. We have a function called as set text. There I am going to display the result. So it is going to show me an error. Why? Because result is of a type double. Set text is going to accept string as a parameter. So to convert this result into text, I am going to concatenate this with space, empty space, which makes result to be present in form of a text. So this is done. Let me save the program. It is auto saved. Let me run the emulator and cross verify this is going to work perfectly or not. Okay. So I had launched emulator once again after writing all the code in a Java file. So let me cross verify and check whether these operators are going to work perfectly or not. So let me select a number 50, 50 and plus on and click on plus operator. So the moment I'm going to click on the plus operator, the value which is present in the edit text field will be disappeared. Why? Because that is the code which we have written. So done. So the old number now accepted it as 50. Now the operator which I have clicked is plus. Let me write the new number. Let me write 50 itself. Or let me write 56. So 56. And when I click on equal to, so 50 plus 56, I should get the result which is displayed onto the edit text field. 100%. So I got 106.0. Why? Because every value is present in the form of a double. So I'm getting the result. So now what I do is 106, I'll take it as a new number, old number. Let me divide by, let me click on the division operator. Now let me write it as 2. So 106 divided by 2 equal to, I got it as 53. So I am getting the result. Let me take 53 as a old number and let me use minus. I'll write 3. So 53 minus 3, I should get equal to 50. Yes, I'm getting it. So 50, I'll be taking it as a first number and let me multiply it. And let me write the value as 2. So equal to 50 into 2, I'm getting 100. So 100%, your simple calculator is working perfectly with all your operators with respective functionality and the buttons working properly and the clear button. So hope this project or simple calculator application is very clear for everyone. If you like this, please kindly subscribe, like and share the video. Thank you. Viewers, if you find this video interesting, kindly like, share, subscribe and click on bell icon to get updated on my next videos.